день ответ является абсолютно неприемлемым для любого потенциального агрессора. Потому что с момента обнаружения старта ракет, откуда бы это ни исходило, из любой точки Мирового океана, либо с какой бы то ни было территории, в ответно-встречном ударе в воздухе появляется такое количество, столько сотен наших ракет, что шансов на выживание ни у одного противника не останется. Причем сразу на нескольких направлениях.
We are playing a dangerous game with our own security if we continue to say he doesn't mean what he says. He's just blowing a bunch of smoke and we don't have to worry. We're not going to be, what's the word I hear, self-deterred. Look, that is one of the most absurd things that you can say. It's like if somebody has a gun and they're holding it on a hostage and they have a history of using that weapon on a hostage and they say, don't come any closer or I'll shoot. And you say, I don't care, but I dare you, shoot anyway. And you keep coming and he shoots the victim. Well, now the guy who pulled the trigger is 100% in the wrong. He's the one who pulled the trigger. But how foolish is it to ignore a known violent criminal who's scared and warning that he's going to do something and then just blithely go forward anyway? Now the victim is shot and now the guy's even more dangerous than he was before. We have a similar situation with that now. Putin has already done that once. He's already pulled the trigger once. And we are playing, forgive the pun, but it's so appropriate here, Russian roulette to continue to say that there will never be a red line. We can do whatever we want and Putin won't ever do anything because he knows that we're going to do something in retaliation. Because just imagine if that does happen. You know what? He's probably right. If Putin ever uses nuclear weapons almost anywhere, the chances of a response is almost guaranteed, because what president is going to be able to absorb a nuclear blast and not return it? And then, of course, no better, if anyone is foolish enough to think that one retaliation will then stop Putin and he'll back down, you are a foolish man. Let me just bluntly say that. Anyone who believes that is a foolish man, because you're playing with all of our lives. All of our lives. If you keep pushing beyond what and we don't know where the line is, but where Putin is going to finally do something foolish and that we consider foolish, and now then we're in a situation where we either have to escalate into nuclear weapons or back down. And the amount of casualties that could come from that, American cities could burn, and we are playing with that for no reason. There is nothing at stake in our national security. As I've been saying from the beginning, Russia has no conventional capacity to roll anywhere. They can't even take care of the one country on their border. They certainly aren't going to roll conventionally into a 32-member alliance that they know they can't stop. The one thing they can do, though, is they do have enough nuclear weapons to fry the planet. They could literally, they're the only ones on the planet that could literally wipe out America in the worst case scenario. Why in God's name would we want to even play with that possibility? Russia can be contained where they are. They are self-contained. They can't go any further. We can prevent this from going into NATO. We have all of our NATO forces all along the eastern flank. And if they did attempt anything, we would meet them with overwhelming power. It's there right now. He is contained and he won't go any further. And our security doesn't have to suffer as long as we don't get foolish in what we're doing and take unnecessary risks that have no upside, but catastrophe, destructive downside. This is no defense of anything Vladimir Putin has done, because he is guilty of many things. But this is a warning to us in the West not to let arrogance drive us into making foolish decisions that could push Putin into a position to where he makes good on some of his foolish threats.